Father, earthly mother, divine seer that sees, create me again, take me in your hands, bring out what's inside of me. Guide me in these times while war is being waged on my family. Oh, make me an instrument of song that I might learn harmony. Anchor into me the rhythm of living love.
So as we are pulling apart the programming and the many forms and ways that this programmed cultural matrix that we've been induced in has expressed itself, and how the human organism from a syntropic orientation responds to that. And the human being is so magnificent, it's so amazing, it's so beautiful. But when we undergo emotionally intense experiences in the psyche or in the self, an element that is having that experience splits off when the feelings and emotions that are occurring aren't fully processed. That is, the feelings and emotions that are occurring through the experience aren't actually being expressed. They're being suppressed, they're being repressed. They're not coming to full expression. And nature's way to make sure that there will be future opportunity to ensure that all aspects of self are held in the totality of self and having an opportunity to return to the totality of self, a memory is formed. A memory is formed where that part of self sits in that memory. It's like a little looped video that occurs, is being made. We call these memories. And the function of us remembering ourselves is not to go over our memories and linger in them. It's human's nature from the syntropic orientation of looking at what humanity's nature is. It's freedom, which means no preoccupation in the thoughts, being free of being preoccupied with others, having future dreaming, having activities and stimuli happening as thoughts in the brain in the present moment. But it's not to linger in the past. The past really serves as a function through memories to bring those dismembered aspects of self back into the present, back into the now. And so it's a really magnificent way that we can still function in the present and not our whole self dismembers itself from us. It's just a little part that gets locked into these traumatic experiences, these emotionally intense experiences, and it just sits there. It stays there until it's retrieved, until it's remembered. And this is where the Wananga of love and the people involved in sharing on human nature, we shine light on the disfragmentation. We shine light on the traumatization that all causes these elements of self to remain dismembered. And this is, of course, where parasitic influence has a great playing board, because in our cultural programming we haven't really been informed what the syntropic nature of human life is and what the functions are of the human organism and all faculties performing functions within that. And so today, just sharing on memory and how easy it actually is for you to retrieve any and all memories and separated aspects of self back into you, into the present moment. And there's a little technique for this, where simply through being aware when memories come up and we speak them out again, or we share with others some associative memory to another experience in the past, that the only function that they really come up is because there was an experience that wasn't properly processed or fully expressed, and that it's just really an opportunity to bring that aspect back to the present, to the self. And of course, the understanding or the comprehension around us as divine expressions of life only being able to experience the full totality of life in the present moment. It's relevant to be in that awareness that that's really what our purpose is. This is where we are able to be sovereign, whole, complete. And it's beautiful that our own bodies already offer us these opportunities all the time. And so it's a self-memory retrieval technique that is something that can be applied and used in any given circumstance of every form of memory that comes up. And some of them may not be easy to be identified because they are pleasant memories, or they don't seem to be carrying much charge. And yet, for as long as we remain disfragmented and preoccupied with thoughts that are coming up in us based on past lived experience, we are taken away into that past memory, out of the present. And that's beautiful if we make use of the function, if we make use of the opportunity. So, as I frequently sit with disfragmented aspects of myself as they come up in memories, I check in with them. I see that little aspect of self, I see the little movie, and I don't identify with it, I witness it, I observe it, I feel into it, and I ask this part of me what its story is, what does it still want to share. And as I feel those feelings and I hear the story and I hear the experience that was had, I gently acknowledge it and meeting its needs, what it didn't receive in that experience. And then as I meet it and as I acknowledge it and as I thank it and bring appreciation for its presence, I then ask it if it wants to come home. And of course, for a lot of people, home may be meaning different things. It's just a very strong archetypal value that home is here in the present, in the full totality of self and in the full experience where life can really be sense felt. So as I ask it if it wants to come home, it posts a question to it, whether it's willing to come back into the self. And it's either yes or no, because if it's ready, it will just come back. And a sense felt through visualization or whatever your experience of it is, a sense felt return will come about, which allows the reintegration of this disfragmented aspect to really come fully back into the self, dissolving and releasing any emotional intensity that memory was actually carrying in its own little field. If the answer is no, that's beautiful too, because that means that there's a deeper story that really still wants to be expressed and wants to be acknowledged. And so these elements of ourself that are holding stories, they have their own working mechanism. It's only really until the feelings are expressed and acknowledged and held and accepted that the retrieval and the returning can really come about. And this is a reintegration then, a reintegration process of past lived experiences being brought back into the present moment, so we can become more complete and more present with what we're really here for in our lives on the earth. The reason that this is so relevant to engage in and to take serious for oneself is that the parasitic influence that is plaguing humanity